guys, welcome back to Busy Girl Era episode 2. We're finished on episode 2. Episode 1 really surprised me just with the positivity in my DMs, comments. It's crazy. Do you guys know like the saying or what people say about like if you want to know who your real friends are, start a business? And as we know, I love starting random side hustles, businesses, podcasts, canceling podcasts and coming back with another podcast. And it is always such a surprising, cool thing to see who listens, who responds, who resonates with like the messages, and it really blew me away. I still really am in shock about it, seeing everyone, that all the nice things that everyone had to say. I'm always in awe about it, so much so that I get like imposter syndrome a lot, because I don't know, I find it so cool and crazy that this all started from nothing, and now I have a growing Instagram, a TikTok, and podcast. Like, it really just, it goes to show that you can start whatever at any time, any age, any moment in your life, and there's always going to be someone that responds to it. And I think we, like I said in my last episode, need that more than ever to feel connected to one another. So I'm just so happy that I can be that space. And my goal with this podcast, I know I talked a little bit about it in the last episode and how it's always going to be ever changing and growing, and just like the different things I see for it, I don't have a set goal of where I want it to be, and I want us to build it together. And I also just want it to be and have the feel of like my best friend and I, we always send long audio messages to each other. And I've always done that with my close friends, where it feels like I'm listening to a podcast sometimes, just listening to their audio message. Like, I'll play it, I'll be doing the dishes, I'll vacuum, I'll be doing my hair, and it feels like I'm listening to a podcast. And that's kind of what that's what I envision this podcast being, is what it feels like. You're just playing your best friend's audio message. So I love that you guys have been active on the Instagram and following Busy Girl Era's Instagram. I did make a TikTok too. I honestly, this happens on all my social media platforms, where I'll just go crazy posting, and I have all these ideas, and I'll just post the most random thoughts that come into my head, which is what I started doing on the podcast page, and then I forget about it for like 4 days. In this case, I think I forgot about it for like a week, but I know that I'm gonna get excited again after I post this episode and go crazy posting random TikToks again. So if you're interested in that, follow Busy Girl Era on TikTok also. If you do see that TikTok and stalk it a little bit, you'll see that one of my last videos right now is me saying how hard I forgot podcasts are for people that listen instead of watching it. On my last episode, I got so excited. I felt like I was vlogging with you guys. So when I was speaking in the last episode, if you listened to it and didn't watch, I mentioned being in my car. And when I said that, I just assumed everyone was watching, which was stupid. It was stupid of me. And then when I was editing it back, I was like, holy crap, not everyone's gonna watch this. And I thought about editing it, and then I was like, we'll fix it as we go, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. The first one, we just gotta put it out there. We live, we learn, we thrive. That's like a big random motto of mine, is saying we live, we learn, we thrive. It's been like, I always have random bits I do. This one's been going on pretty long though. It's usually when I mess up on something, or I'm feeling unconfident, or honestly, usually when I make a mistake in life, in business, anything, I'm like, we live, we learn, we thrive. I need to get that. If I got a tattoo, that would probably be my first tattoo. Anyway, I could yap forever, as we know. Today's episode is going to be a Q&A. You guys sent in questions, and I'm going to get through all of them. I know I love to yap, but I really think that I'm going to get through all the questions, and it's going to be a good time. So thank you guys for sending in questions. I had such a good time reading these, and you guys came up with some really freaking thoughtful ones, so I'm really excited to answer them. And then there's also fun ones too, so there's a good balance of everything. The question categories are, we're going to start with like some light and fun random ones, a little bit about personal background questions you guys asked, and then mindset and growth, my content creator journey, Bizzy Bean, different business stuff that I've learned, tips, tricks, what I don't know, etc., and then lifestyle and wellness ones. So I think we got a really good list of questions. So I'm excited. I also have so many fun ideas for this podcast. Like, I'll talk a little bit at the end of the episode about some fun things that I'm cooking up, and I'm really excited to share them with you guys, and it'll all come out soon, unlike my coffee that is taking so extra long than we had anticipated. But I'll also talk a little bit about that in the Q&A questions. If you guys like this, I would love to do more Q&As as bonus episodes, and just to hear from you guys and see what you want to hear, what you want to know about me. I really am an open book, especially on this podcast. Instagram, I try to be, but like I said, it's really hard on there to fit so many things in a 90-second, 60-second video when all of it also gets so misinterpreted. Like, I'll post a video, be like, oh, this is such a cute, I swear we'll get the questions after this. I'll post a video and I'll be like, oh, this is such a cute little hidden gem in Bakersfield. And also, I think the word hidden gems, like, yeah, obviously some people know about it if it's a hidden gem, but I'll go around town or honestly anywhere and be like, oh, cute hidden gem. Is it a little bit clickbait when I say that? Yeah, absolutely. But also some people don't know about it, so I just use the word like hidden gem, and I'll say this is such a cute hidden gem, blah 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 blah, and I'll make a little video about it, and I think nothing of it. And if it doesn't get a lot of likes, it'll be like all positive, chill comments. And then if it starts popping off and getting low-key viral is when all these haters come in and they're like, we've seen this video, we know that they're like, we've seen this place before, it's not a secret, it's not a hidden gem. Or they'll be trying to gatekeep and they're like, stop showing these hidden places. I don't know, either way they get angry and it's just funny. I have actually learned to laugh at them. At first I really took them all to heart, and now I'm like, you silly people. And also, I have the intention in my videos now when I do post on any social media platform, I'm like, if this helps someone, makes them laugh, or they feel like they can relate to it in some way, even one person, help that one person. Like, that is so cool. And the butterfly effect of that, we don't know. So I don't know, it's a fun way that I like to look at posts on social media that's changed my perspective and made it less draining. Okay, now without further ado, let's get to all these fun questions. The first one I had to start with because my boyfriend asked it, and this has been like his go-to like dinner party question, and he'll always whip this one out. And he said, I have to ask this on the podcast. I said, okay, sold. And he also said that you guys have to respond. So if you guys are listening, watching, however you're consuming this content right now, answer this question in the comments below. It is a really fun dinner party question. I say dinner party, we don't go to like any dinner parties. It's us and like two friends, but we love to ask this question. So I never ask it though. So it's weird me asking it right now. Usually we'll go somewhere and I'm like, Carson, ask the question. Have you asked them yet? If you had to sing 3 songs as an opener plus encore. Now, this is a really short question. I know what he meant by this. So the question is, let's say you have to go perform at an arena, stadium, something. You are the opener. You only have 3 songs plus an encore. So 4. You have 4 songs. What would they be? You guys write them down in the comments. Don't go based off mine. First, like, get them in your head, okay? We're gonna take a little 5-second meditation to think of the songs in our noggin right now and what they'd be. Our thinking is like, well, you got to get one that's a crowd pleaser, you know, and just like fun sing-along ones, like what's gonna get the crowd going, you know, or whatever your goal is, you know. Maybe you just want to enjoy them. I'm trying to think of my songs. When he first asked me the question, it's always changing now. Like, we'll just shuffle random songs, just like while I'm cooking dinner or something, and then we'll be like, this is a good one, like this is a good one that we should add to the list. Like, we have so many songs now that we've talked about, like we are no longer the opener, like we are the show. We have so many like built up. But I'm trying to think what my songs are when he first asked me this question. I had the most random ones. I had Cotton Eye Joe. Cotton Eye Joe. Because just imagine me singing that. I had Who Let the Dogs Out. The third one, at first he told me 5 songs, and I was like, dude, that's so many. And then once I answered the 5, he's like, and an encore. So this question has gotten a lot shorter, I'll have you guys know. Oh, and then I had these are so random. And I had Hound Dog by Elvis Presley. A lot of the times, what's so funny is when we ask people this question, or when I make him ask people this question, they'll be like, oh, let me think. Like, there's been a few people, shout out friends Melissa and Ethan, that they answered the question like right away. And Melissa, my friend Melissa, had such amazing songs. Like, oh my gosh, she had great ones. But a lot of times we ask people this question and they'll be like, oh gosh, I don't know, like, what are your guys' favorites? And then like they hear our songs and they're like, what the heck? And half of them, they don't even answer the question because they're like, you guys are weird. Okay, anyway, then I had Hound Dog. And then I think I had another one. I had I don't even know what song this is. The one that just has one word in it that goes like da da na na na, tequila. Because I thought that'd be funny. Like, imagine the crowd waiting the whole time and then you just hit them with tequila, then you leave. Like, that's your encore. That's funny. Honestly, any of the songs as an encore is hilarious because it's such a wide variety. So tell me what your guys' three songs are below. Are they weird like mine? Are they normal? Let me know. That killed me. I feel like that was a good one to start with. The next one is, what are your pet peeves? And when I got this question, I was like, what are my pet peeves? At first, I was like, I don't really have any. That's a lie. That's a straight up lie. Because then I thought about it for more than 10 seconds and all of them came flooding back to me. Number one pet peeve, I think this just goes for like friends, people in general, is I really don't like when someone's close-minded and like shoots down your ideas right away. Like, ugh, I just hate that negative energy. And I feel like, for me at least, I feel like I'm really, what's the word? Like, not receptive. I'm sensitive. I'm really freaking sensitive to people's energy. And when they just hit you with like negativity or putting you down, like I hate when I'm around someone, I'm really thinking of someone specifically right now when I do say this. They're not listening, so it's fine. I will never see this person again. But I hate when I'm around someone and I'm like, oh, I like this song. And they're like, oh, you like this song? Like, oh my gosh, that energy immediately drains me, kills me. I just hate when someone takes any opportunity to put someone else down. Like, and those people, I have learned, they're really just extremely insecure. So they try to put everyone else down to put themselves higher on a pedestal. But that's a really... I still just like separating myself from those people. Like, if I do have to be around them, I'm like, okay, noted, like, just remember, Maya, they're insecure. But that's like probably my number one pet peeve, is just like closed-mindedness, and people are just like that negativity that, I don't know, ew, it's so icky, you know? Next, random pet peeves, I hate. I hate when someone with outside clothes on touches my bed. My bed is my clean, safe, happy place. I can't stand it. Like, even someone, I'm crazy about it. Even if someone with dirty hands touches my bed and like they haven't washed their hands, I'm like, get away. I hate it. I'm such a germaphobe when it comes to that. Shoes in the house, I also don't like, because like my mind goes crazy when I think people's dirty little feet walking outside in stores in who knows what, and then they come into the house and then boom, I just picture the dirt everywhere. So randomly I'll be a germaphobe when it comes to things like that, but then other times I won't. Like when it comes to like fruit from the store, I'm like, I just rinse it so quickly with water, like it's fine. So it's, I don't know where that stems from. That's really weird. Other pet peeves that I have, those are definitely like my top two. Oh, you know what I can't stand? I can't stand loud music, or like any like loud or energetic music past, like let's say I'm trying to go to bed at 11, I can't have it past 9 p.m. And I can't play video games past 9 p.m. too. Like sometimes Carson and I, my boyfriend, will randomly play Fortnite or like Call of Duty or something, or we'll want a game. And if it's like 8:30, I'm like, Carson, I can only play for 30 minutes. Like I can't play more. My brain just gets too wired. Music past a certain hour too, I'm just like, like turn it off. Give me some sound bowls, you know? Give me some meditation music. I want to feel like I'm at the spa, which is also what I do when I shower. When I shower, I love feeling like I'm at the spa. Ooh, I have another pet peeve. Little white lies. I hate when people tell little white lies. But get this, I'm also such a hypocrite because I always tell little white lies. I have gotten better about it because Carson will call me out on them. Like, I don't do them to him anymore. But like, if this is bad, like I'm really outing myself right now. Like if I'm running late for something, I will like always make up a little lie. Unless like, no, like I do it a lot, but it has gone a lot better. Like I swear it's gotten a lot better, but there was a time it was pretty rough. And even if I was just gonna be 5 minutes late, I would make up something. I would never do anything crazy because I also feel like, well, it's not good to do for one, and also like I'm not trying to manifest nothing either. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's a family emergency. I don't manifest that. It would always be little weird white lies, and then I just got in such the habit of doing it that I didn't even see anything wrong with it until I think, Carson, my boyfriend, pointed it out to me, and I was like, yeah, it is kind of weird. I don't know why I do that. So I guess new goal for this year is stop doing that, because it's weird. Like if I'm running late, I just need to say I'm running late because of like me. Like I don't know why I feel the need to blame it on something. Okay, next one. Favorite book, and do you enjoy the library? Favorite book. I like a lot of random books. I like a lot of books that have to do with like energy, spiritual, that's so hard to say. Spirituality. Oh my gosh, can I speak? Spirituality? Why does it sound so weird now? Is that how you say it? Spirituality? I don't know. Now it sounds weird. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's hard to speak sometimes. Some books I really liked. I really liked, and I let my friend borrow this book recently, The Empath Survival Guide. That one's a really good one. Especially because, like I said, I'm such a sensitive person, and that was really hard to deal with growing up, because sensitive's also looked at to be like such a bad negative thing, you know? And I used to look at it that way, because I'd always be crying all the time and be sad and just over emotional about so many things. And even over emotional, like, it sounds so icky because I think we're just conditioned to believe it. It's so icky. Now I found a lot of beauty in my sensitivity. Like, I love how sensitive I am because I feel like it makes me have so much empathy for people. The hard part was knowing when I had too much empathy for negative, toxic people, but you know, that's life. We live, we learn, we thrive. It's gonna be my new bit for this episode because it is true. Like, I had to go through so many times where I just kept forgiving people again and again and again who would just bring me down with them, and I feel like I just kept lowering myself to their like vibrational energy, and it was bad for me, bad for my health, internally, externally, like all of it. So gosh, what was the question? Oh, my favorite book. That one is really good. If you guys do feel like you are that way, I would highly recommend it. I'll even like crack it open now if I'm like struggling. I'll just like flip to a random page, and it always has like nice little nuggets in there. One of my favorites, who I actually talked about this because I got to meet the author, and I talked about it on Instagram, like the crazy, amazing, life-changing experience I've had since reading the book, meeting the author has all been so incredible. It's called Give Yourself Permission by Courtney McDermott. It's been such an incredible read that has, between that and meeting the author, has like really, really, really changed my life and my perspective on life. Realizing that everything does work out the best, but you're just feeling stuck. I think it's such a great book that just reminds you there's always, like, I don't want to say a way out. There's just so much ahead of you. Do I enjoy the library? Honestly, I feel like every library I've been to is like so dark inside. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I like reading outside a lot. I've also been reading my Bible a lot more. My parents got me a Bible. I realized I never had one, which is crazy because I grew up Catholic. But I've been really into learning more about all different types of religions and how they all connect and the similarities in them, because I think, it's kind of weird. I'm really focusing on this a lot this year, is just how similar we all are. Like I mentioned in my last episode, but especially religion-wise and political-wise, and especially like in politics, like everything in this world, I feel like was created to divide us. And I really like focusing on just the similarities. So I've been trying to do that more also. If you guys are watching on YouTube, I also changed locations. I had a meeting downtown and I had all my stuff with me. Then I was like, shoot, well, might as well record right now too. So okay, now it's time for our next set of questions, which is more about like personal background and a little bit about me. So personal background, do I have any siblings? Oldest or middle sibling, and do they look up to you? This one's kind of long. I have an older sister, Noah, who lives in Orange County, and then it was just me and her for the longest time. We're 5 years apart, me being baby of the family. And then a few years ago, my parents decided to look into something called, what's it called? It's called CASA. I forget what it stands for. I forget one of the letters. It's like stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate. I think that's right. Court Appointed Special Advocate. I don't know about CASA. Please look it up because I'm going to do a terrible job explaining it. But basically, it's where you're a court appointed special advocate for a foster youth. And after doing that, they decided to foster. So now I have 5 foster siblings. I don't like calling them that because they have been in my family for so long and I treat them just like my siblings. So to most people I say they're my siblings because they are, but also to some people that have known me for a while, they're like, why all of a sudden are you saying you have five siblings? Like, where did these kids come from? So I thought I'd give you guys like the full background context of everything. So now I have 6 siblings. I don't know if they look up to me or not. Hopefully they do. I think they do. I think they probably go through phases where they do and where they don't. Because I think even with my older sister, like, there was times that I looked up to her. There was times that I was jealous of her. Like, I think that's just a weird, crazy part about being a younger sibling. Like, you go through all different phases with your older siblings. So I feel like the younger ones probably do. The older ones in teenage years, I don't know. They're probably focused on themselves, which I know I was when I was a teenager, so I'm not sure if they do or not. And I don't think they'd admit it either, which I don't think I would when I was a sibling. I'm a sibling. When I was a younger kid either, so I don't know about that. Next one, what schools did you go to? And I really didn't go to a lot of school. I mean, I did, but I was homeschooled. My mom homeschooled me and my older sister when I was in first grade, so she was sixth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade. I think she was in sixth grade, and she decided to homeschool us. I was homeschooled for a long time. Not as many people were homeschooling back when like my mom was doing it. I feel like it's become a more recent like popular thing where a lot of more parents are realizing that like kids learn all different ways. And for me, I know I definitely have ADHD, and I definitely did as a child, so I just could not focus for the life of me, and I just couldn't learn the same ways as other kids did. So my mom homeschooled me. It was also really cool too, because now that's like something I used to take for granted for sure, but now I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like we got to travel and like go to cool places, and we got to like do homework at the beach or on the road, and it was a really cool experience that I definitely took for granted growing up. I was homeschooled up until like sophomore year of high school, I think, around that time. And even then I was like half homeschooled. Like there was this program, I think it's still around, it should be, called Kern Learn. So I was like half homeschooled and I'd half go to like school. So I went to Stockdale, and I'd only go, what do they call it? They call periods? Fourth period, fifth period? I think that's that. It's been a while. I would go like after lunch, or maybe before lunch. I don't remember. I'd go like 10:30. I'd show up. I'd like just get out of bed. I'd show up ahead of one class and have like lunch, which was usually my breakfast. And then I would go to like drama and honestly like fun classes. Then I started taking math classes, and looking back, I'm like, why did I take so many math classes? Who was I trying to, like, I was doing all that work for what? Like I was in these AP classes, and then not to put down CSUB, but like I ended up going to CSUB. Like I wasn't trying, like I knew I didn't want to go to Yale, but for some reason I was taking so many classes and extracurriculars, and I don't know why I said it that way. National Honor Society, Interact Club, anything and everything. Like I was doing way too much. Yeah, I went to CSUB for college. Yeah. And then I graduated in 2023 from there. Go Runners, meet me. Stay in Bakersfield or move someday. You know what? It's really crazy. Like I can't really picture myself living anywhere. It's hard for me to picture like being happy anywhere for a set amount of time. Like ideal future manifested world is that I would live, like I would have 5 different houses and just bop between all of them. Like I'd love to live on the East Coast. I think it would be really cool to have a house in like downtown Bakersfield. There's actually this like house I always drive by because it's so beautiful. Like I'll go out of my way to drive by this house. Ever since I was little, I remember my grandpa and I, we would hang out. Like we'd go get like ice cream or go to the movies or something, and then we would just drive around and like talk, and I'd ask him like random questions. And oh my gosh, it's like making me teary-eyed. Crazy. We would drive around downtown Bakersfield, and we'd go to like these gorgeous, huge houses. I remember one day we saw this like beautiful house that still remains my favorite to this day, that I'll always drive by, and I've even taken my siblings to it a couple times, and I'm like, you guys see this house? It's beautiful. And I just love looking at it. I am so scared the owners are gonna see me one day and be like, who is this girl? I don't just like sit out there. Like I go by it fast, okay? I'm not a creep, and if somehow they hear this, guys, I'm sorry. I freaking love your home. It's beautiful. So my granddad and I, we would drive by these houses, and we would like pick out our favorites, and I think it'd be really cool to like own one of those one day. And also, like, as I'm developing my future coffee company, and as I'm developing my coffee brand Bizzy Bean, I think it'd be so cool to have like a manufacturing plant in Bakersfield and like a team in Bakersfield. So then that would give me a reason to like come back to Bakersfield. And also, like, I would love to live at the beach, because this Bakersfield air quality, it kills me. It kills my soul. I am so sick of these freaking allergies that I have, guys. It's not good. It's not good for us. So I think it'd be really cool to come back to Bakersfield when the air quality's good, and then be able to go to like the beach or East Coast or somewhere, I don't know, random cool in another country, and just be bopping around quite a bit. I think that'd be really cool. I'm really taking my time answering these, but also I want you guys to get a good idea of who I am and some random fun facts about me. So, would your 10-year-old self be proud of you? My 10-year-old self, My 10-year-old self was wearing ties. And I would like to point out, she was ahead of something. I think ties are making a huge comeback. I want to say I was inspired by Maddie from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and I would wear a tie every single day. From the Children's Place. I had like a rainbow tie that I'd wear from the Children's Place. What a time. What was the question? Oh, what did my 10-year-old self be proud? She'd be so confused. I think she'd be proud because like when I was 10 even, 10? Yeah, I think I was like making silly like I was making like silly weirdo YouTube videos and teaching myself how to edit and doing like random cool things like that. And I did always want to do something like this. So yeah, I do think that she'd be proud of me, but she'd also be a little disappointed because 10-year-old me wanted to be rich at 16. So I know that she'd be like, oh my gosh, like why aren't we living in a mansion yet? And like, girl, I hear you. I'm trying. I'm working on it. 10-year-old me also though, like I was like, I'm just gonna marry rich. I had it in my head for a very long time that like I am just going to marry a rich man. And I don't know why I thought that. Like, that's fine. That's just like weird that I had that as a goal, because now my energy's so shifted where I'm like, I want to be rich. Like, I want to be the rich man. What is that quote? Who said that? Cher? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, Cher's mom asked her like, just why can't you just marry a rich man or something? And she was like, Mom, I am the rich man. That's the energy of this year and 2K always. Now we're on to the next category, which is mindset and growth. There might be some of these that I come back to it in another episode where I'm like, want to expand on them, or if you guys want me to expand on them, like, let me know in the comments if you're listening on Spotify or YouTube. Let me know what you guys want to see more of. Again, this is our space that we're creating, so we can do whatever the hell we want. What would you tell? I remember seeing this question on Instagram and loving it. What would you tell your younger self when you wanted to create content? Younger self. What would I tell my younger self? Let me really try to tap in, because like, that girl wouldn't listen. I think I would tell my younger self that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be you. Like, for so long, I would see like, oh my gosh, I know who was big when I was like first starting to really try with my content when I was younger was Bethany Moda and Gen X. I don't know. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And I would go back and forth. I'd be like, I'm going to make aesthetic content and hauls like Bethany Moda. I'm going to get into makeup. I'm not. I actually have no patience for learning makeup. If you do, shout out you. It's so hard. And I've had the same makeup routine for like, a long time. 14. Like a decade. Since I was like 14 or 15, I've been using like the same makeup products. I'll introduce like one new one every 5 years. But anyway, my point with that is I would always try and copy other people's content instead of focusing on like who I was, what I wanted, and being me, which I think is still something I struggle with. But this year, and especially last year, I started playing around with it more, of experimenting with types of content that I wanted to put out and what I wanted to do and how I want to show up online. And also knowing that can be different across platforms too. Like, social media is for playing, podcasts are for playing, like this life is for playing. So I don't want to take anything too seriously. And the way I show up on here right now is going to be different than how I show up in the podcast a year from now, you know? Like, that would be awful if we stayed the same. We're always growing and changing. So yeah, same thing with how I mentioned in the last episode of like why I kept my past podcast Positively Enlightened up, those episodes up with my sisters, because I didn't want to forget that chapter. But I also won't be reliving it because I don't like that. I don't like that version of myself very much. Okay. We're still coming to terms with it. So yeah, I think my main thing I would tell my younger self is she wouldn't listen. Like, I'm laughing saying this because like I would love to just like give her the thoughts of now, but it's like you can't do that. What philosophy? Oh, I like this one a lot too. This is like probably my favorite question. What philosophy / mindset do you live by? Right now, a big one for me is never assume. Like, anytime I have a negative thought about someone, I'm like, never assume. Like, I don't know what their day held. I don't know what their life held. I don't know their upbringing. And I have such a huge issue with overthinking. Oh my gosh. Okay, tell me if anyone else is like this, where so many times after I have like a positive interaction, conversation with like one of my friends, anyone, I'll overthink it, especially if I'm not super comfortable with that friend yet. if it's like kind of a new friend, I've been really, really bad about this lately and trying to work on it. I'm trying to think even like when this started. This is like turning into a therapy yap session. Anyway, though, like I have a really hard time with overthinking past conversations. Like I'll end a conversation with a friend, I'll be like, oh my gosh, that was so fun, like I had a great time talking to them, and then my mind will start to spiral, and I'm like, wait, were they just saying nice things to me? Did they not really mean those things that they said to me? And my brain starts going into like negativity mode, and I start overthinking and rethinking everything I said, and I'll replay the conversation in my head and be like, oh, maybe I should have said that. It's gotten like, honestly, like low-key bad. I've had to get in the habit of like literally shaking my body like a maniac. Like once I have those thoughts, I'll literally just start like shaking my hands and like my body, or I'll just like walk around in a circle around my room, because I'm assuming these people are having these thoughts about me. And I feel like if I'm going to, I do know where it stems from. I grew up for a while having the mindset of like, prepare for the worst. I don't know why. I'm not ready to dig into that yet. Maybe in another episode. But I grew up with the mindset of being like, prepare for the worst, so like, you won't be disappointed, you know? Wow, crazy. That's weird. This got deep. So I feel like growing up with that, it's like hard to like rewire my brain, because at that point I'm assuming the worst every time. And the more I learn about like law of attraction and manifesting and raising my vibration and all that woo stuff that I love and I actually believe in, I'm like, well, I might as well assume the best. Like, what's that gonna do, you know? I always thought in my head, if I believe the best, then I'll be disappointed when it doesn't happen. I don't find that happening. I'm just like, okay, like it happened. Like, I'm just going to learn how to move on now, instead of being like set up for disappointment every time. It's another mindset, is just like finding little things every day to be grateful for, and also just like sitting with those things too. I think just being in that gratitude mindset has made a huge difference in my life and just made me happier overall. Like, one of my friends the other day, he asked me what has been the highlight of the past 48 hours. And I love that question, because then in that moment I had to pause and think, what am I grateful for in the past 2 days, big or small? And what my answer honestly was like so tiny. It was like yesterday, I was able to lounge around in my pajamas all day. Like, I did do work and was editing videos and stuff, but I was so grateful I got to do that, because when I was working my 9 to 5, I couldn't do that, you know? I would have to show up and put on a face every day coming into the office. And not saying you have to do that in every job that you're in. I just am that person. And it felt like just so much energy. So I was really grateful for the fact that yesterday I could just lounge around in my PJs and I didn't go out all day. I DoorDashed the groceries for dinner, and it was a good day, and that's what I was grateful for. So yeah, even if you guys right now can just like think of it, what you've been grateful for this week. And like, it doesn't have to be big, you know? It can be something so small. Like, I got sleep in the other day. Boom. That's a huge win right there. I got a text from my friend who I missed, you know? Like, there's such little things that we take for granted. So I just think that gratitude mindset that gratitude mindset has been a big change in my life recently, and I'm loving it. How do you handle "it's not a real job" comments? Honestly, I don't care at all. That's a lie. Sometimes it does bug me a little bit. I'm trying to get in the forced mindset that it doesn't bother me. But there's a lot of times I just think it's strange, and it really just shows a lot where people are in their own life, because I always get it from people that work in like traditional jobs or even traditional media. That's who I specifically remember getting that question from. It was someone who works on the news, and there might be like a broadcaster, there might be like a news anchor in town. I can't remember the specific person who said it to me, but I remember that like they work for the news in some form, in some station in my town. And I remember he asked me, he's like, so what do you do? Like, who are you? And it's always funny, because it's especially when, like, let's say someone recognizes me, you know, like I'm out at like store or something, and someone comes up to me and they're so excited. I'm so excited. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm more excited than the people even coming up to me, because I'm like, that's so cool that you are part of the people that are like is consuming my content and also like engaging in it, and that's so cool. Like, that's so cool to me. When anyone comes up to me, I'm like so appreciative. And just the fact that they go out of their way to come up to me and say that is always like so nice. Anyway, though, person came up to me and was telling me that they see my videos, they like them, and da 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 da. You know, like, it was a really good conversation. And then he was next to me, and he's like, so, like, what do you do? And their attitude is like, oh, same thing I mentioned as, like, one of my pet peeves is, like, they're automatically negative towards it, of like, so, like, why do these people know you? And it doesn't, sometimes it does come from, like, a place of wanting to know more, but it sucks when, especially men, more oftentimes than not, and that has to do with their own insecurity, I feel, is they'll be like, why do these people know you? Like, what's so big about you? Like, what did it, like, I don't know, it seems like they're almost fishing, and I don't like that. So I try to be super vague. I'm like, oh, I just create some videos. And maybe that's the issue too. That's not an issue, but I think that has to do, I'm just trying to give them some benefit of the doubt of why they put down being a content creator, because they're like, oh. And I remember this guy specifically that I'm thinking of in the conversation said, and you make a living doing that? Like, that's such a weird question. That's such a weird question to ask for so many different reasons. For one, you're automatically putting down what I just told you that I do. For two, I do have other, like, side hustles and business ventures and such, but, like, you think I want to tell you about those things now when you just said, and you make a living doing that? And I just think there's other ways to go about it too. And like, in this moment, I am assuming things, because sometimes you do have to. I'm like contradicting myself, but, like, do you see, I don't know, I do feel like it is a little bit different, because it's just so weird. It's just weird, and it makes me feel kind of icky. Like, he's not creating space for me to be open to the conversation and feel like, oh, I'm going to be vulnerable and be like, actually, here's some other things I dabble with. And also, like, oh, how funny would it have been if I told that man, if he told me his job and I said, oh, and you make a living doing that? That's weird. Like, that's me. Yeah, and I think that's so strange. Really, as men, the more I think about it, in different instances that I've had, I think about an instance where a couple people were coming up to me in this, I don't want to give it away, in this place that I was in. And a couple people were coming up to me and saying they see my videos, and then someone else was like, oh, I've seen your videos too, which is super cool. And I'm telling them, like, thank you, and asking them some questions. And then it's always a man. It's always a man. I think maybe they assume that I'm going to have a big ego. And they'll be like, oh, so you're like a big deal. And I'm like, I don't play this game. I don't like that. Maybe I'll joke around with them and be like, yeah, kind of a big deal if I think they have a good sense of humor. But more often than not, I'm like, no, I just create content. I don't want to play the competing game with them that they like to play. Not all men are like this, I know, but it sucks that more oftentimes than not, it does happen this way. And what will happen is the guy will telling me what he does for work and how hard his job is, and start going on about himself. And it feels like he's almost trying to prove himself. And I'm like, babe, I barely talked to you about my career, creating content or anything. But how do I handle it's not a real job comments? I think more oftentimes than not, it says more about the other person. It's like how they react to saying that it's not a real job. And especially when I used to post videos in the beginning, and I touched on this in the last episode, it's kind of seen as cringe to try. And people are like, oh, you're trying? Yeah, babe, I'm trying. Like, why is that embarrassing, you know? I think that's so strange. It's funny because if you guys do post on social media, or if you've gone through a phase where trying to post, you know, it's not cool to try. Like, it's not cool to try to post on social media when you have 10 followers. But once you have 10,000, then it's cool. And that just makes zero sense to me, you know? Even if your content's exactly the same, it's funny to me how that works out. So when I first started posting, it felt more cringy at first because I wasn't making any money. But I'm not gonna lie, the second I made $1 from doing a video, I was like, I've made it. This is amazing. Like, I've I'm happy. Like, it did feel validating, which I'm not saying that's healthy, but it felt like a real job in that moment, which is really cool. So now we're on to content creator journey. And the first question is how to get comfortable filming yourself. And this is hard. It's so freaking hard. I'm actually lucky that I was, like, low-key forced into it with my last real job, you know, my 9-to-5 job, Because I started out working in social media for the company, and then they were like, "Oh, do you maybe want to be on camera a little bit? Like, we want to see how you do." And then those videos started doing really well. So, like twice a week, I would film a whole bunch of videos on camera, like all day. I'd be filming, and like I would come up with new ideas the day before, and then I would film like a shit ton of videos. It was crazy. Like I would film so much. While I was doing that, they started out like a little bit rough, but each one I did got like easier and easier and easier. And I think it kind of feels like a muscle that you have to use. Like, there's so many people that are like, "Oh, I'll start filming and myself on camera when I look a certain way or when I have this amount of followers." And I just think, I kind of think that's awful, honestly. I think that it's just something that you have to get used to. And it's weird, like hearing my own voice. Now I have gotten really used to it, but even if I take like a 2-week vacation where I'm not like editing content like crazy, it's weird to get back into filming myself or hearing my voice. No one likes their own voice, okay? But if you're unless you're me and you are forcing yourself to be exposed to it again and again and again, and then it becomes fine. Like, I have really gotten comfortable being me. Like, I look how I look, It's like sometimes I do look better and sometimes I do look worse. Like, I'm trying to get better about that. Even I used to be so self-conscious about photos that people would take of me. And when someone shows me a photo of myself now, they're like, "Oh, do you want to see it?" No. No, I do not want to see that photo. Especially, I've noticed, if I look at the photo right after someone takes it, 9 times out of 10, I'll be like, "That's ugly, get that away from me." But if I look at it even a couple hours later, a day later, beautiful. That's a memory, that's a moment. But I have such a hard time looking at photos right after. I have gotten a little better about it, but it's hard to see that much of your face, especially if you are on top of producing a lot of content, consuming a lot of content. It's so easy to compare yourself to other girls, and that's extra hard in itself when so many of them are using a bunch of filters on their face, which I need to take accountability for. Like, I definitely used that when I was starting to post. It's so scary to see your face that up close, where I was like, making some things a little slimmer. I was getting rid of, I was making my face as soft as a baby. To some points, if you really do a deep dive on my Instagram, it looks like I have no features because the smoothness, softness, whatever effect on my skin whatever I put on that day on the filters, it wasn't the real me. So, like I've mentioned before, I'm trying and challenge myself to be as vulnerable, open, and everything in this new year, and just sharing so much more of the real me, so we know that life is not all perfect like that, and no one's skin looks as good as that the filters I used to use. I think the biggest step, though, that I keep telling people is like, just to start, even if it's like half a second of your face, if you want to create content and you're trying to get more comfortable filming yourself, just do a little like half second of your face in a video, even, like the more you are exposed to it. And, don't use those filters, because that's a gateway drug. Don't use those filters at all. That will help you a lot. So even businesses, I think that's a huge untapped market, is so many businesses, for one, they don't really have a social media strategy. And for two, they're not showing themselves. And people, more than ever, they want to see the person behind the business. I know I do. I think it's so cool when like a local restaurant is posting and it's like this lady who owns it, and I'm learning about her story and like the story behind her food. Like, those stories like those are so cool to me. And when owners of different businesses post and are so vulnerable and open, it definitely makes me want to it definitely makes me want to eat at their restaurant or buy their product. So there's so many businesses that don't do that. So if you are an entrepreneur, I highly, highly, highly advise you guys to just play around with the idea, just a little bit of like just filming yourself for a couple seconds and trying to get more comfortable to it. I know it's not easy, but comparison really is a thief of joy. So don't look at other people's posts and try to copy it exactly as it is. Like, your editing's going to get better over time. It's all just like a muscle that you have to build, How do you pitch to brands? Great question. It will be disappointing though. I never have any luck pitching to brands. Every time that I've pitched to a brand, it's failed. The only time it didn't fail is I pitched to them when I had like 100 followers, because I kept seeing all these girls say, here's how to make money when you have barely any followers. And they're like, use my strategy and copy and paste this DM to everyone. And I would paste it. I'd paste this silly little DM to these companies, and they never got back to me. And later on, I unsent like half of them, because I was like, I don't want to get rid of this. And I was offering content that I don't even do anymore, like user-generated content, if you guys are familiar with that. And yeah, it was a whole thing. And then later on, one company I sent that message to, and then fast forward to me having 15,000 followers, they're like, hey, we just saw this and now we want to work with you. And I'm like, interesting. Now you see the DM and you respond to it. There's some that saw it and we're like, oh, we're actually not having this. What they'll do a lot, they'll lie to you, which, you know what, I get it, guys. I worked in marketing for a bit in PR. They'll lie to you, though. If you reach out to some of these brands, if you don't have a lot of followers, they'll say, oh, we're not really looking for influencers at the moment. And then there's sometimes these brands that I had reached out to, all of a sudden, when I get 15,000 followers, they're like, oh, actually, like, we are looking for influencers now. Liar. And it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, because I'm like, if you didn't want me at my 200 followers, but honestly, like, it makes sense, so I'm less bitter about it now. But I know when I first started getting followers, I was like, damn, these brands lied to me. It's all a marketing game, so you know, I get it. They'll gift me products sometimes if I reached out to someone, but it doesn't work out really well if I'm trying to get my bag. I've completely given up on reaching out to brands unless there's something I really, really, really want. I'm trying to think of an example to keep it really open with you guys. Oh, Cozy Earth. Oh, I wish this was an ad. It's not. I love Cozy Earth. Their pajamas are like my favorite thing in the world. There's something I'll always splurge on. And the reason I found out about them is because they gifted me some for a story post. And they were like, oh, we're the Kardashians' favorite brand. We made Oprah's top 100 list, or whatever Oprah's list is called. And they're like, do you want to try them and post a couple stories? I was like, sure. Fell in love with them. Now, oh my gosh, anytime anyone gets me a gift, I'm not huge on asking for gifts, but if you're listening, Cozy Earth. The pajamas are so soft. I think they're made out of bamboo. Is that right? That could be a lie. I don't know. I'm not going to correct it until they pay me. Joking, kind of. But yeah, Cozy Earth, they make really great pajamas. They're a little pricier, but they're worth it in my opinion. I'll drop money on food, but when it comes to clothes, I'm the cheapest person ever. But Cozy Earth, I would splurge on. You have 2 pairs. I lost one of my tops to one of them, but they're so, oh my gosh, buttery, cozy. I'm honestly thinking about them tonight. I can't wait there's nothing better than a fresh pair of Cozy Earth pajamas, clean sheets. Oh, I also have Cozy Earth bed sheets. Okay, so I pitched to Cozy Earth. I was like, hey, I posted a story for you guys a few months ago. Would love to work together again. And yeah, I didn't hear back. And I was like, damn, I don't know. I'm like, should I reach out again? I genuinely love their pajamas. I can't believe I'm doing just a free plug for them right now. But yeah, I love them, and I don't know how to pitch to brands, and I don't have luck doing it. And right now, since I do get a solid amount of brands reaching out to me, and I'm also, even though I'm doing this full time, I have other I'm launching my coffee company also, and I'm doing some other things. So since not all 100% of my time is on content, I'm okay not pitching to brands. If it was something and the only revenue goal I had in mind, then I would pitch to brands more. But also at the same time, then it would become even more of a job. Right now, I feel like I have a pretty good balance of it being fun and also a good way to make some money. So guys, as I was editing this episode, I realized that there was a lot and I mean a lot of content, and we had so many questions that I wanted to go in depth with without the episode being too boring and drag on too long. So I decided to split the episode into 2 episodes. So for next Tuesday's episode, it will also be the second part to this Q&A. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I can't wait for you guys to hear the rest of it. We talk about some crazy stuff in the next episode, and I get really vulnerable and open, so I am nervous but also really excited for you guys to hear it and see if anyone can relate to it and just what you guys think about it. So don't forget to check out the next episode 2 Tuesdays from now. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and make sure you check out Busy Girl Era on Instagram. Talk to you guys so soon. Bye.